Welcome to the Investor Impact, PowerTalks with Vinney Chopra, where investors gather to share their insights and strategies in the world of multifamily, real estate, and beyond. Get ready to be inspired and equipped for your next level of success.
Who would like to do? Brother Shorab, all right, San Francisco. What's happening over there?
Things are going good. Have my real estate meetup coming up tomorrow. So anybody who's there in the Bay Area, you're all welcome.
Oh, none of them. Only brother Daryl. He's right there in Dublin, very close to me. Brother Daryl. He's been with me 12 years, 13 years. My investor, he's just such a wonderful person. And now he's retired, almost semi-retired. He's getting into real estate, just like Carl. Yeah, like you were saying, Carl. Yeah. And brother Steven there from Texas, right there also. It's just good to have. We had a good session. So what are you thinking then? Where are you looking into? And are you looking into RALs?
So Daryl and I have been in touch, and basically we are thinking maybe we can do some kind of an assisted living facility kind
Love
of.
it.
Now
Love it.
you're also into it, so we have some traction because we have a leader over here.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
We're thinking that. And apart from that, like since the past 2 weeks, I've been going to a bunch of different tours as well. Happy to show in one of the properties as well.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I love that. If you bring the case studies and properties so that we can look at, we can give opinions, because that's what it's all about. We want to see what's happening in the underwriting world. Yeah, go ahead.
So there are a few properties. I'll just show you the deal flow. So there were a bunch of deals that came into the market,
Okay.
of which I've just listed some that were interesting over here.
Mhm.
And we have the asking price, we have the unit count, expected monthly income, and the cash on cash returns with the 50% operating expense.
Mhm.
And I've added some comments in here. So this was supposed to be a very good deal, but then it just went into contract yesterday. So I'm not going to spoil everyone's mood in here.
No, we want to see why somebody bought it so quickly. 7 units in San Jose. That's pretty not too bad. One more line I will put there, if you don't mind, for me would be before E, price per unit. Let's calculate price per unit also. That can send us a very good message. Hey, it's cheap or it's not cheap for that neighborhood, for that area. See, look at that. So in San Jose, getting one per unit 307. The other thing I'll add to that, if you don't mind, year it was built, because that tells you the vintage, right? That tells you if it's in very old or how new it is and things like. Because the older the property, the more maintenance and different maintenance and rehab cost higher, maybe changing of the circuit breakers, and we talked about all that, foundation problems and all that, and the appliances will be older, all that. Yeah. Beautiful. No, very nice, very nice. I love these things when you share with me these, because that's what it will motivate others to do the same. Whichever area you're looking into, you got to do some homework so that next week you are able to bring something on the table so that you could share and get opinions and all that. But let's go into, underwriting. Can we go? I know I want Carl to see my underwriting, because Dave Lindahl gave me the first page and I've added 14 pages with it, and it's so comprehensive. Maybe if you have the underwriting done, I don't know.
So if we can go into this deal.
Let's go there.
25. And this one is also a good deal, a decent deal actually. 1122 Sutter, but then these are all deals in San Francisco. 1122 Sutter has a problem, which basically the location is not that great. Yeah, it's very close to my house, but then that block is not that great. It's an okay location, so I'm not considering this.
I see.
But if we look at this is 1020.
Hang on a second. You said it was in your location next to your house, but that block isn't a good location. But doesn't that fall under the C to A or the B to A property buying zone? Could it or could it not?
No, the neighborhood has to be A if the property is C. What he's saying is the
Okay.
neighborhood is C and the property is, but you know what? Maybe I'm just thinking out loud, think about it from the other picture, right? Would you be able to command good rental? People will be able to, yeah, you more than I do, right? In that area.
So the
Because
rentometer over here is around $1,700 for each
I s-
studio.
okay.
And then there are two retail units in here as well. I conduct my real estate meetup very close to it. So this area is gentrifying, but I'm not 100% sure whether it actually will. There
Sure.
literally are in that block, there are a bunch of hookers who just keep
Yeah. Yeah.
dangling there in there.
No,
Not
San Francisco is got its pocket. I know my daughter was paying 5,500 a month. She paid rent for 3 years. And now she bought a condo in Marina area. Thank goodness. It was just losing money. Yeah, please go ahead. Sure.
this is the underwriting for that bad neighborhood property. It is available for 2.65 million.
Uh-huh.
No seller financing available in here. And then I haven't actually checked out this property yet. We have a showing coming up soon.
Mhm.
And then I've used these numbers, and then basically with the 8% debt service cost, cash flow is negative. So
Mhm.
it's not very exciting. But
Hey,
the
Sarai, I have to say this for humor because, by the way, I had a real estate coach in, I think it was 1991 who told me this. He said, hookers have to live somewhere too, and they always pay cash.
They make more money.
makes it
That's
all
a good
I'm
one.
not telling, that's not investing advice. Remember, we don't give investing advice on this. So I thought I'd throw that in there.
I love that. I love humor is so important in our life. I tell you what, we got to keep it light. We got to, no matter what's going through life, we got to bring humor in. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
So this is that property, and then the other one that we were talking about, this one. So this,
Yes.
yeah, 11025 Powell. This is the high level underwriting over here, and I haven't gone into the details, but basically out of the 18 units, only 6 are utilized,
I see.
and the other 12 are vacant. Per unit, you can all of these 18 units are all studios, and this location is also very close to my house, so it's a good neighborhood.
Mhm.
It's not as populated anymore because of San Francisco's decline, but we are seeing we can expect 2000-ish rent from each unit. And then the cash flow is negative as well. But then if I show you the property itself,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so we are at 1025 Powell Street.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Apartment building offered at 3.8 mil. This is one of
The flooring and the walls, everything looks ready. Tiles. Look at that. Tile tubs.
pretty much renovated.
They're
that-
selling at 3.8 million, right? And what's the current net operating income on this asset?
Negative because
Is that right?
so yeah, because of the 18 units that we saw, of the 18 units, 12 are only utilized, and 12 are vacant and 6 are used. And of those 6 that are being used, 3 are like much under the market rent because they came in 2000s or something like that, and the rent has just not gone up.
Mhm.
Is the seller willing to carry financing on this?
No, so they have kept this property. They've had this property in the family since 1940s.
Mhm.
There are 3 brothers and sisters who own this, but then they just want to get out of it and they don't want to carry a note over here. Like
So
I
can
said,
you
that-
go
is
on
that
a
why-
really
go ahead.
lowball offer? Can you go really lowball, like maybe 2.4?
Yeah, that's what I was going to, because if it's vacant, right? So it's not making money and people do want to sell it, motivation is there. But if you're very sincere and you do some projection, even print this out. Never give them the Excel worksheet ever, but print it out and you say, I'm really interested in it. I live nearby. How can we make this deal work? Yeah, so that might be a good way to look at or talk to the broker. It's listed, is that right? It's listed. Yeah.
yeah.
With all that
No.
vacancy, they have to be motivated to sell at You
Yeah.
get that number low enough, somewhere around 2.4, this really makes sense because then you get all of those other units leased up. Remember, you got a cap on rents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you can get 1995 going in, you could be pretty strong.
You can.
We 4 or 5 of us could each submit an offer to them for 1.8, 1.9, and then your 2.3 offer.
Yeah,
looks
then they
amazing.
say that's the
I
price.
like the way Roger thinks.
I
Gaurav
love
gets it.
Yeah, we come in so far under what he's willing to pay that his offer looks amazing.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you, Roger.
Sure. Just shoot me a letter. How much you want me to offer? That'll be fine.
Isn't it true that only these 4 or 5 people, 2 only, I see 3 of them, which are low rent and they'll stay there. Oh, these are all studios too.
All
Okay.
studios.
But the
Is this the property that only
Not-
has 3 or 4 bathrooms in the entire facility?
Huh?
It
Pardon?
has what?
Is this the property that only has 3 or 4 bathrooms?
No, that's different.
Oh, that's a different
No,
one.
Stephen,
Okay, just
that was
making sure.
different one, brother.
Yeah, I know, just making sure.
No,
Yeah.
this is each bedroom has studio, has kitchen area and the bathroom, right? Yeah.
Why do they not have it rented out? What is the problem?
Oh.
What is the problem there?
I think it's just fallen into disrepair and
Mhm, neglect.
yeah, and
So might be
That's a
lot
good
of
thing.
accept-
Oh my gosh, that's a very good thing. Mismanagement and the children want to sell it or something you said. 3 people are there.
yeah,
So-
three people, and they want to sell it because they've had enough of it. They don't want to put in more money. But then, having said that, the property condition itself, like I've checked out all the units inside, and
Yes.
units are looking decent. Like it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a lot of effort. Everything is separately metered as well, so that is good.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. No,
and-
no, no. They look really good. And the bay windows, everything, brother. Wow.
yeah.
Yes, yes. So how can creatively you can make this deal work? That's what we should talk about. Maybe, I don't know, it's 5:16 today. At 5:30, we wrap it up, 1.5 hour every Wednesday. So, maybe next week we dig into it, or maybe you take an assignment to see what numbers can you offer it at, and how can you make it work for them with seller
Vinny,
financing?
we got 15 minutes with the
Yeah,
brain
yeah,
power
yeah,
that's
yeah.
between you and all the other people here. We can do these numbers in 15 minutes. Let's not procrastinate this. Let's find, because Dave was on the right thing. He said 2.4. He's probably really close because he usually
Yeah.
is.
And
Um,
now it's cash on cash of 15%. Oh my
Here's what I see, Saurabh, this is, sorry to bump the AI on, but here's what I see in
Come
this.
on. My balloons don't come. Yours are coming.
This is a chronic this is a 2 offer structure. You offer them a really low cash price
Yeah.
or what they're asking with the terms that you want, meaning, hey guys, you're not cash flowing this, so I'll give you this high price, but you give me the financing. If you're not interested in that, I'll give you all cash, because and they can say we don't want to sell, but you never know what's going on the other side in the seller's mind. There's a reason they're selling. First of all, there's a reason they're selling. They don't have any tenants. Why don't they have any tenants? Because they have, in their mind, they've abandoned this property. And so if you don't act on the opportunity of their abandonment, someone else will. There's not a lot of investors' eyeballs in the San Francisco market right now, because all you hear on the news is how bad it is. The reality is everybody's got to live somewhere, even hookers, right? So we said that before. But the reality is this: the tenants that are in there paying $500 in San Francisco, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
How can that even be possible?
Yeah. This is mind blowing to me.
Yeah. And so, but if you can shore up those other units, it's hard to get the people out that are paying $524. You can slowly raise their rents. But I would go in with a low ball offer. There's nothing wrong with a 2 offer structure.
So basically, two offers, one with the asking is 3.8 over here. Instead of
Yeah,
that,
to
maybe
say
3.5.
3.2 maybe, 3.2 terms, because they always want
But
to ask
maybe
for high amount.
maybe 10% down.
Yeah.
So the real estate agent gets their money, but that's it. The rest is maybe financed at 4% interest or 5, no more than 5. Maybe interest only too. Maybe even offer them above their asking price. I'll give you 3.5 million.
Mhm.
10% down. I'll give you 5% interest only payments for 5 years, and I'll give you a balloon in 5 years.
Mhm.
Or I'll give you $2.35 million,
Yeah.
something really low, but we'll go all cash. Consider a two offer structure because it really puts you in the driver's seat. You can have your price, but you can't have the terms.
Mhm.
I'll give you the price, but you give me the terms.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
That makes sense. I asked them, are they willing to carry some of the note? And they were like, no, they just want financing.
Good.
Yeah, but when you say, are you willing to carry some note, that's so general that I would say no to it also. I don't want to say yes to something. You
Yeah.
show them the numbers. Now you got to say, well, okay, what part of the numbers do you not like? Now you got something to talk about. But that general statement, which is a good way to start because you never know, they might say yes. But that's just one no out of many no's before you get the deal.
Mhm.
The property tax alone on this they're probably bleeding money right now.
I know they're bleeding. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, yes.
They own it free and clear, right?
Yeah, but the property taxes in San Francisco they might own it free and clear.
Yeah.
Property taxes, maintenance, and if they bought it at a really low cost basis, they have no depreciation. So there's a lot of things they may be fighting here. That there's an old expression. Everybody's fighting a battle that you don't know they're fighting.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so if you look at this, when I look at it, I'm like, with 12 units vacant and the 6 that are rented are not paying any money, these people are tired of owning this.
Also, if it's free and clear, that's all taxable money unless they put it somewhere else. So
Yes.
seller financing isn't a bad option. They probably don't even understand that. They're not in the game.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
they probably don't even understand that.
The big thing would be to even share with them, hey, if it's all free and clear and you get this money, that's capital gain. Now,
Yeah.
you take depreciation, now what you paid, you got to go deeper than that. So it's not from 0 to 3 million or whatever they'll get 3 million profit. It's going to be from the depreciation down, then to 3 million. So it might be 4 million gain. So by giving those terms so that they can seller financing or master leasing is another way to do it, by the way, where you are able to take over the property, right? So there are different ways to do it. Different ways.
The master lease, you say, look, I'll give you an option on this property. That's what a master lease is.
Yep. Yep.
You give me the right to control the property.
Yes.
I'm going to pay your real estate agent, or you pay I'll give you enough to pay your agent. I'll take over the property. I'll shore up the rents. I'll refinance you. You give me 5 years to finance you out. Now, the disadvantage in an option agreement to you is if you're going to raise money from investors, you don't get depreciation because you control the asset, but you don't own it, and therefore the depreciation goes to the seller. So it's a way to control the asset, but remember, many of your investors. But if you don't tie up any money, you don't need investors.
Yeah, that's true too.
If you only need a couple $100,000 to tie this up, you can joint venture with somebody, and now you've got it tied up, and you still get the deduction on your expenses. You just don't get the depreciation on the asset.
I wanted to really start the business of investing in real estate, but guess what? I had zero money at all. Hey there, this is Vinney Chopra. Actually, I came from India with $7 in my pocket, and I wanted to really start the business of investing in real estate. But guess what? I had zero money at all. I mean, to invest in. So that's when I was getting sick and tired of my W-2 job, and I wanted to start working for me so that I can get financial freedom. And I know you might be looking into that also. But how I did that was by pooling the money together from different investors. It's called syndication. I started with one investor and now I have a list of 370 investors, and I started from a duplex of 2 units, duplex, to $440 million in business. And actually you could get that all from this book I wrote, this Apartment Syndication Made Easy. You could get a free copy of that by going to vcfreebook.com, and you'll be able to get all the tricks and all the strategies that it took me to be able to go from zero money, literally zero money I had, left my job, and also now able to, do all the syndications and purchase a lot of apartment complexes and things like that. So please click the link below in my bio so that you could get this free book, which is at vcfreebook.com. I would like to say that I know us syndicators have been promoting so much. You get cash flow, accelerated depreciation. It's a hoopla. To be very truthful, a lot of investors don't really gain that much with that, because when we sell the asset, we have to recapture every dime of the depreciation has to be recaptured. So if we do it so low, accelerated depreciation, we write off 80% of the asset. Now the gain is 6 million plus 7 million down, 13 million is the gain. So actually in a syndication model, accelerated depreciation should be banned. I should say that. It's good for general partners. It's not good for LPs. I've come to realize that, because the thing is, you give cash flows to investors on a monthly basis or in a quarterly basis. But when you sell the asset, you are capturing all the depreciation that we took for our last 3-4 years. And now the gain is going to be multi-millions, like the one in Austin property. My gain is almost $25 million equity gain. And then 70% of that is going to the investors, but then they got cash flows and equity gain, but a lot of that equity gain is going to pay for the taxes. It's just like that. Anyway, all right.
I don't even think what you just said was worth the price of admission today, because you don't realize the wisdom in what you just said. I didn't realize that. The recapture, that's huge. And knowing that going in, when you're raising money, if somebody asks you, on the back end, we got to recapture that depreciation.
We have to. So actually, a lot of people ask me, they say, Vinney, hey, in this deal that I'm raising now, strategic income fund, right? We're giving 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, and then we are controlling 70 million. We just got an asset in New York that they want 5 million from us. We're going to control that asset. It's 97% occupied, everything. And they're giving us 16% per year returns, plus equity in the deal, because they are going through refinancing. Anyway, but you're right, Dave. So some investors ask me, Vinney, would I get the depreciation effect? I told them no in this strategic income fund. And I explained to them, I said, you know what? That depreciation is good in certain ways, but it's not good in a lot of ways. And then when I explained, it made sense to them. Thank you, Dave, for sharing that and noticing it. Because see, the thing is, we need to be looking out from the investor's perspective. That's who we serve. We serve the investors to give them cash flow and equity gains, right? Yeah. I hope it was a good class, guys. Last comments. I hope a lot of people who came today, they might join us and join us every week. Shut up.
Just go for it. Throw that offer out there.
Yes.
New offer structure. Just go for it. You know what the worst that can happen is they could say no. you know what, the best that could happen, they could say yes.
Yes.
What's likely to happen if you put two offers, one of them will appeal to them, especially if you don't present it as an offer, but you present it as an LOI that says, this is the advantage to you of doing it this way. This is the advantage to you of doing it this way. And this is the advantage to me of doing it both ways. You don't have to, LOIs don't have to be so darn legal. When you go to purchase and sale.
No, LOIs are never legal.
Yeah.
They are not contracts at all, by the way. And it should say in the LOI always, it's not a legal contract because the terms can change and everything. And if you put it all together, give text to me or Brother Dave, we can help you. And then let's see if we can get it down. Yeah, let's get going.
This is a good strategy. It's the either or close.
Yeah.
You can either do this or that. And now they're not going to say no. They got a way that, and then one of them is, this is a really good.
And
good
you
job.
know, it's going
Good
to
job.
tell you the temperature of the seller. That's the beauty of it, you know, because you don't know. See, many times, let me share with you. What happens is seller wants the highest amount of money for their asset. They believe it's like God, it's the best, thing. But the broker, on the other hand, wants to listen to the seller. But if they don't have backbone, they just accept that number. I'm telling you. And then they get the listing. And then they have hard time selling because they did not really get the fair value of that asset. They're trying to sell to see somebody who will come, dumb person, to pay that money and then buy it. See? So it's like that. So it's good to really be quantitative, objective, and then come up with solutions. Yeah.
Appreciate all the advice here. Thank you so much.
All right. Excellent, guys. Hey, thank you. And see you all next week. Come with case studies. Brother Carl, if you have some case study, bring it on. You're invited one more time, maybe 2-3 times he'll invite you. After that, you can make a decision. Maybe you went, because I've come across so many investors. My one coaching student, right? Dr. Maskey, he spent 100,000. He was in 4 masterminds. He was in my one-on-one coaching, plus other 3 more, literally. And now he's doing wonders because you never know what will get you to take that step. But the key thing is the motivation so that you can move forward. Thank you again. God bless you. And we'll be downloading this whole thing and putting it in the Dropbox like I always do so that we are archiving all this for you. Thanks again. God bless you.
That's all for this episode of the Investor Impact. Stay tuned for the next episode and don't miss out on the opportunity to learn and grow alongside this powerful inner circle.